Hello, Papa Meatball. How are you? Let's just see a couple little things here. We're going to be doing a phone call to CSU. It is a recorded call. What's up, guys? So this is going to be a recorded phone call to CSU. And then at the conclusion of the call, Liberty Bird is going to join me on the panel, and we're going to talk about his experience last night. You guys are not going to believe how they treated him last night. It was absolutely fascist nation treatment, all the way down to bag over the face and clothes stripped off. It was fucking outrageous. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to play 303 Cop Block's video from last night with no sound. I've got the closed captions on. I'm going to play my call with Corporal Moore with the CSU Police Department. So without further ado, enjoy. Let me make sure you can hear. I hope you can hear this. Can you guys hear it? Do you have an officer that's actually intelligent enough to process the information?
I do have a supervisor on that's able to talk to you about this.
Well, that's a pleasant change. That's a surprise. Look at who's getting the surprise today. It's me.
Do you mind if I put you on hold and just reach out? CSU Police?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, are you guys ready?
I'm sorry, are we ready?
Are you ready? Yeah.
Ready for what?
Well, for the surprise, of course.
Would you like to talk to an officer about a complaint?
Oh, it's not a complaint.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused.
Oh, okay. Well, so you guys used your jackboots last night to fuck with a peaceful person on a public sidewalk where they had permission to be. You pulled tasers on them, you committed heinous acts of violence, and the people are fucking pissed off at you, and we're coming back. But it's not just going to be them. There's a whole goddamn shitload of us, and you better be ready.
Okay,
Are you ready?
Would you like to talk to an officer about this?
Is there any chance that you have an officer that's actually intelligent enough to process the information?
I do have a supervisor on that's able to talk to you about this.
Well, that's a pleasant change. That's a surprise. Look at who's getting the surprise today. It's me.
Do you mind if I put you on hold and just reach out to him and see if he's available at this moment?
Sure, not at all. That'd be great.
Okay, just a moment.
How do you like your toast? Soft? Crunchy?
Soft. already put this in the van?
I apologize for that hold. Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
talk to Corporal Morris now.
Corporal Morris?
Talk to Corporal Morris.
Oh, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just a moment.
Hi, is this Corporal Morris?
Yes, sir.
Hi, your dispatcher was so pleasant. I appreciate her transferring me over to you. I was just calling to see if you guys were ready.
Well, for what?
Well, for the surprise, of course.
What's the price?
Well, we need to just see if you guys have learned your lesson or if you're still going to commit heinous acts of violence against peaceful people out there at CSU.
What's the price?
Well, we need to just see if you guys have learned your lesson. Heinous acts of violence against innocent people yesterday, and the people aren't very happy about that shit.
What's the price?
So we were talking with our friends from Minneapolis. We need to just see if you guys are thinking about coming up with acts of violence against innocent people yesterday, and the people aren't very happy about that shit.
What's the price?
So we were talking with our friends from Minneapolis. We need to just see if you guys are thinking about coming up with. Sure, they seem to have a handle on this whole protesting thing.
What are you talking about specifically, man?
I'm sorry, I thought it was quite clear. I was just calling to make sure you were ready for the surprise. Surely you can't be that out of the loop. Are you that out of the loop?
Well, I honestly don't really know what you're talking about.
Oh. You didn't see any of the videos from last night?
Well, you're talking about something that's coming up, right? So why don't we talk about that?
Oh, because then that would spoil the surprise. You don't tell people about the surprise. And then it's not a surprise.
Would you like to talk face-to-face with one of the supervisors here?
I've seen what happens when people talk face to face with you people. You pull tasers on them. Don't be ridiculous.
Well, then what are you looking for?
I just want to know if you were ready for the surprise.
You keep using the word "the surprise," but you haven't really told me anything about what it's about.
Oh, well, if you were to use the word surprise, what would you think it would mean?
It's not my word; it's yours. So it's on you.
Well, yeah, they're my words, but I'm asking you for your thoughts.
I'm not going to talk to that right now.
Oh. So is it true that you have not learned your lesson and that it's important that we continue to make our way over there?
What lesson are you talking about?
Surely you can't be that out of the loop.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where you're coming from.
Oh, well, I suppose we could start with my address. Would you like my address?
If you want to give it to me.
Sure. Do you have a pen?
Why would you want to give me your address?
Well, you said you wanted to know where I was coming from, and I thought my address would be a good starting point.
I wasn't talking about specific man, buddy.
Oh, well, if you've got a pen handy, I'll give you my address.
Why would I need to know that?
Well, I don't know. You just seem to be interested. Usually the police would like to know my address. They ask me that all the time. Let's just preempt that. I can give you my address right now. It'll probably make it easier for the paperwork.
So can we just cut straight to it? You're thinking about coming to campus, which is fine. But what is the surprise you're talking about?
Well, what would you think a surprise would look like?
I'm asking you because I have no idea.
Oh. Well, I mean, let's do some creative role playing. Let's hear what your thoughts are. I'd be happy to oblige.
No.
No?
You said that before. I'm asking you.
Oh. So are you sure you don't want to write down my address?
you want to give it to me, you're welcome to.
Oh, sure, sure.
I'm not asking for it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. This is a consensual conversation, right?
You called me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, I called your dispatch, and she was kind enough to patch me over to you, which is really a level of service that's surprising to me, considering the actions of your officers yesterday. What do you have to say about the actions of your fellow officers yesterday?
I'm not going to speak to that right now.
Oh, okay. Are you an authorized public information officer for your department?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Okay. But you do know about the incident that I'm talking about, right?
Would you like the information of our public information officer?
Oh, we can get to that, sure. But since you're on duty right now, and since you're the one that's likely going to be having to deal with the surprise, you did watch the videos from last night, right?
I'm not speaking about last night. I'm speaking to you right now about this so-called surprise.
Well, you see, the funny thing is that you see, you wouldn't be having a surprise today if it weren't for the events of last night. So I don't think that we could really have an intellectual conversation about the surprise without having some sort of conversation about what happened last night. It really wouldn't be fair to you for me to surprise you without some sort of foundation.
Okay, so fill me in on the foundation.
So, are you not aware of what happened last night?
Well, I'm trying to understand what you're talking about, where you're coming from.
Well, I told you that I'm coming from my address, which I'm happy to give you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I'm still living inside my body, thankfully.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's our starting point. We can start inside my body. And quite frankly, I'd like to keep the insides of my body exactly where they are. And I know how you guys get a little bit trigger happy. So please help me keep my insides on the inside. I don't want to have any leaks today.
So today, huh?
Yeah, because I know you guys are really good at making the leaks, and I don't think you're so good at stopping them. Hello?
I'm still here.
Oh, yeah. So tell me, what did you think of the video last night? Did you think it was a little odd that one officer was at odds with the other officer? That's actually good news, right? But at the end, the violent officer is the one that prevailed. And I'm just wondering if that's part of your training.
As I said before, I'm not here to talk about what happened last night.
Oh, you're not?
I would much prefer to talk with you about this surprise you keep talking about.
Well, I just feel like I'm a terrible spoiler if I give it to you.
Can you give me some kind of idea?
I would say I just surprised myself. I stepped in the dog bowl. That's kind of funny. Looks like I'm the one that got the surprise today. I got to admit that in my life flashed through my eyes. I had this vision that you were shooting me through the phone. It was terrible. Anyway, thank you for not doing that after having just expressed that I'd like to not leak today. I'm leaking out all over the floor. Golly, let me compose myself. I don't know what kind of a start that was. So anyway, about the surprise over there on Rampart Road, are you sure that you don't want to talk about it?
You said you left the surprise over there at Rampart?
Oh, I didn't say that we left it there. I said it's coming there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it something you're bringing or something you have?
Is it a thing so much as it is a one? I don't know.
Not a thing so much as a what?
A one, a someone, not a something.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know if there's any particular risk that you guys might make us leak out while we're there. Maybe it'd be a good idea to maybe have the paramedics on hand. That's a good idea. That would be like good insurance for us. Maybe we should call the paramedics first. Because I just honestly don't trust you guys. And if you don't know what happened yesterday, then that makes me even more concerned, because surely they would have discussed this at shift change. You can't have a momentous occasion like that and not have any idea what's going on. I mean, that's just really, wow.
Can you give me an idea about how long it's going to take for you to get here?
Oh, I think you'll know when we get there. I don't think it'll take very long once we arrive for you to be made aware. There are, I mean, we have sort of bred an entire society of tattletales.
So you said you'd give me your address. Why don't you go ahead with that?
Oh, yes, my address. I'm still living inside my body, thankfully. Not for a lack of effort on your part, for sure. But so far, I've still been living inside my body.
So we're not talking about a street address. You're just going to tell me you're living inside your body.
Well, I think that's a good starting point, right? I mean, because I can't have a street address until I put my body in it. And so kind of your body is the starting place. Which draws us back to the first part, is that I would really like to stay there. But I'm not so sure after what I saw yesterday that you guys would allow that. As I'm just kind of trying to set the ground rules here so that, because I would like to stay living inside my body. I'm pretty sure that you guys would like to remain living inside your body. I mean, when 7% of the population are extreme narcissists and 40% of the police population are extreme narcissists, then clearly a good number of the police would like to remain living inside their body because they think they're wonderful. I'm not necessarily so thinking that I'm wonderful so much as I'm just having a good time in here. But you can have it when I'm done, if there's anything left of it.
What are you talking about?
Well, my body. I thought we were talking about my body here. You're not tracking very well. Are you on drugs?
Let's get back to this surprise you've been talking about.
Would you be willing to submit to a breathalyzer or a polygraph?
So I'll do it with the phone, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that probably would be a little bit. Well, here, maybe you breathe. You blow through the phone and I'll smell. Hey, guys, I smell alcohol in his breath.
That's not really how phones work, my friend.
Oh, well, you know how it is inside my body. We're not necessarily connected to the real world, if you know what I mean.
Well, what can I call you except from, like, hey, you or sir or whatever? Is there a first name I can use for you, man?
Oh, people call me many things. That's pretty good. That's probably part of your interview. We don't even know each other that well yet. We have to at least know our names before we give away our names. Don't be ridiculous. So anywho, you're not going to fuck with us when we go over there and protest, right?
So it's a protest.
Oh, dear God damn it. I spoiled the surprise. Oh. Now see, you are clever. That's pretty good. That's probably part of your interviewing training, huh? Do you guys get a lot of training?
Well, I would advise you perhaps maybe reach out to my department and we can figure out a way for you guys, if you wish to protest, a way for you guys to safely
Oh, yeah.
on land that's agreeable to both sides.
Oh, agreeable to both parties. So it's almost like a parade. You get a permit for a parade because you don't offend anybody, right? That's not how protest works. Yeah, actually, when you're doing a protest, you're expressly irritating and antagonizing the other side. It's kind of how it works. If you're not annoying, you're not protesting.
Would you like to arrange for a place and a time that works for you, and a place and a time that works for the owners of the land gives you?
Yeah. CSU, is that a person? Did they run for president?
Easily protest. We're on board with that, man. If that's what you're to like.
Oh, so we can protest as long as you're on board with it. Is that how that works? Excuse me, Mr. President. Do you mind if we protest 500 feet away from the White House? Oh no, you're going to put up fences and tear gas us? I can't breathe. Breathe this, bitch. Gas. I mean that kind of arrangement, or like what are we talking about here?
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, the First Amendment guarantees the right to peacefully assemble and protest. And as the police department, we don't mind who protests. Honestly, like as long as you do it at if you're going to do it at CSU, as long as you do it in accordance with their rules, not the police tolerance rules.
So there. Wait, who's CSU? Does he have a phone number?
Colorado State University.
Is that a person?
It is the university.
Oh, the university. Is that like God? Like, can CSU run for president?
He's not the Colorado State University.
What does CSU stand for?
Colorado State University.
Oh, so it's owned by the people then.
The university?
Correct.
The land grant.
So it's Colorado State University. Is that, so like who owns it?
CSU.
Yeah, you already said CSU owns it, but is CSU a person?
So if you would like to speak to someone higher up to voice your concerns, to make sure you have a good time and place that works for you and for them.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that we're going to make it work out for you. That's kind of the point. I thought we covered that already. And for all your cleverness, you drew out the surprise, which is a kind of a surprise to me. Look at all the surprises I'm getting today. But for all your cleverness, you kind of have missed the whole point of the protest. It's not supposed to be convenient for you. It's actually supposed to be quite irritating. Like a disruption is the middle name of protest, right? You take protest, put all the letters together, split them apart in the middle, add the word disruption, and voila, disruption is the middle name.
I think one of the key parts about being able to protest is peaceably assemble, and that's
We're not talking about violence here. Remember, you guys are the ones with the violence, right? You're the goons with the guns. You're always the ones bringing guns to a word fight, and that's what we're a little concerned about here. Right, so I just want to make sure that you're not going to make me leak when I get there.
When are you showing up?
Oh, it could be any moment now. One thing's for sure, it will be convenient for me and not so convenient for you. That I can assure you. I mean, I'll be honest about that.
Okay. How so?
What's that?
I said, okay. How so?
How so? Well, because I'm picking the time that I'm going to be there, then I suppose that makes it convenient for me, right? That's the whole thing. But it's not going to be very convenient for you. Like it's not.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds. Oh, yeah. So I mean, you know, if you were able to like plan for it, that would kind of spoil the surprise. I wouldn't want you to have your armored tanks out there too early. That would like raise the suspicion of the neighbors.
Do you think we're going to need armor tanks?
I have no idea what you people are capable of. I've learned to expect practically anything from a group of sociopaths. Do you have armored tanks?
What do you think we're going to need?
Well, brains to start with. You might bring brains. Are you going to bring brains? Do you have any brains on hand? I know you spent an awful lot of time on the gun range learning how to make holes in people. Did you spend too much time in the law library learning how not to make holes in people? Speaking of surprises, if you want to know a big surprise, how about losing that qualified immunity? Did you find it yet? That had to be a surprise. I could say, of all the things in a police officer's life, losing qualified immunity had to be like one of the biggest surprises, right? Shooting a family dog, not a surprise. You kill 10,000 of those a year. Losing qualified immunity like you did yesterday, big surprise. How many tanks are you going to bring? Do you guys have an interlocal agreement with the Fort Collins Police Department?
Look, I have told you, man, we're open to you guys coming to campus and making your concerns known.
It turns out we're professionals. Our concerns will definitely be known. Yeah.
But we need to make sure that everyone is safe, right?
Well, okay. So here, if we can reach an agreement on safety, then I'd be more than happy to do that. My first recommendation would be, how about everybody leaves their weapons at home? Could we start with that?
How how about this? Why don't you give me a phone number? Any phone number, doesn't necessarily have to be your specific number. Doesn't matter. I can have one of my front staff reach out to you, and we can start the conversation there.
So any phone number will do?
Well, one that actually is able to get to you.
Oh, that they would get to me, because I was going to give you Jenny's number. It's 8675309. That one won't work then?
Probably not.
Oh, did you know that 8675309 is actually not a working number anywhere in the United States because of that song?
I believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? So why don't this is. But why don't we just agree that we're all going to leave our weapons at home today? That seems like the easiest way to make everybody safe.
Okay. So we're able to find some common ground, right?
Yes. Neither one of us wants to leak today.
That's a very good thing.
That's a very good thing.
So how about we continue in that spirit?
Let's do.
And we work together.
Yeah.
You guys can have your time to protest, your opinions known. How does that sound? Does that sound reasonable?
That sounds very reasonable. I appreciate you reaching agreement with me. Thank you.
Okay, so.
Oh, there's a but?
Yeah.
Please hold while Eric works out his technical difficulties. You are all amazing.
Does that sound reasonable?
That sounds very reasonable. I appreciate you reaching agreement with me. Thank you.
Okay, so.
Oh, there's a but?
Yeah.
Is that like an asterisk when you read the signs, totally free checking, and then there's an asterisk and at the bottom it says everything we just told you was a lie because there's a bunch of exceptions? Is that kind of a but?
As I said before, the owner of the land, he is you. You need to work with them to organize events on their land.
Well, here's the funny thing about that is that actually I'm the owner of the land. I think that's where we may be having some confusion, is that we failed to recognize that I'm actually your boss. Right? Hello? That had to come as some sort of a surprise to you from the silence. And here I thought the surprise would be the protest. The surprise was finding out that I was your boss. That's fantastic. Sir, do you need a paramedic? Are you okay? Did you have a stroke?
I think he did. I think he had a stroke, people. What do you think? If you are not impressed by the fact that Eric has kept this guy on the line for almost a half an hour, this shows the level of professionalism that it takes to redress your government. It's amazing.
What's up? So I don't know what the fuck is happening with my internet here, but we'll keep going on this. We still have
Eric,
another 5 minutes for this phone call.
This is an amazing piece of work, brother. The best part about it is I've been telling them that I'm going to bring tens of thousands of people to their CSU Police Department, and now they're starting to see that I might not be joking.
So I don't know what's happening with the internet, but my phone is on a different cycle, so a different system. So it looks like I'm back up again. Let me drop back out, and we'll finish. We'll finish. We only got 5 minutes of the call left, and then you got some fantastic things to tell us about your experience.
Yeah, and then I got a shower afterwards because I haven't showered since yesterday. So I'll pause for you to get to it, brother.
Can somebody, do I have a moderator that can mute him? Okay, so I have 2 internet connections here. Literally, and for some reason I cannot maintain an internet connection. It's fucking killing me here. So, what the fuck?
It's all right. You can keep working on it. We can talk about it a little bit. How did you feel about this guy's level of intelligence? I mean, every time I deal with CSU, I'm always looking for some type of intelligence, and I never seem to find it.
Yeah, there's no intelligent life to be found there.
At least not in their staff. Just saying.
This is incredible. I don't know why I don't have a connection.
It might be trying to fight with each other. You might want to disconnect one and then just focus on the other. I know mine does that sometimes.
Yeah, it's connecting to my router. It says no internet. So it does this. It resets like several times an hour or some shit. It's really irritating. Apparently, it's not coming back this time. Maybe I can play it. Let me kill this. Kill the air conditioning, which means it'll kill me. And then I will repatch the audio to the screen here.
Perfect.
And I'll finish playing the file.
I'll mute.
So do you need a paramedic? Are you okay? Did you have a stroke? Gosh, the time flies.
I'd like to make some progress with you.
I thought we had made great progress.
Chrissy, dude, if you want to have your peaceful assembly, we're open for that, but you have to arrange it with the owner of the land.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I think we arranged that in 1776 with the Declaration of Independence. I think that our arrangement is prearranged. You might call it a prearranged marriage. And the great thing about prearranged marriages is statistically they're the happiest. So we're really making a lot of progress today. This is really going to ruin my reputation when everybody finds out that I have so much in common with the Blue Line. I might have to change my name, which is disappointing because I've had it for a long time now. It's one of the most precious things my mother gave me. It's going to be very sad to give it up. But
I'm sure you probably know it is posted private property out there. So I would advise you not to do that out there before arranging with the private property.
Sure. So who authorized that posting?
The owner of the land.
I already told you that I'm the owner of the land and I'm superseding that posting.
I don't think that's how that works.
Oh, you don't? You don't? Oh, so we do have some sort of a disconnect. That's good. I was beginning to worry that I was becoming one of you. At least we maintained some disconnect. So you don't accept the fact that I'm your boss, and therefore you don't accept the fact that the private property posting on my property is not mine to take down.
I remind you that those are your words, not mine.
Oh, well, the good news is that I'm unanimous in that. So anyway, since I own the property, I think that we can both agree that neither one of us want to leak today, that we both want us to have the opportunity to express ourselves, and that that you guys have agreed not to fuck it up like you did last night. Do we have that agreement? I just don't want things to get ugly, right? And if things get ugly, it's entirely going to be you that does it. So if we both agree to leave our weapons at home today, I think we're going to have a good day.
If you would like information on how to arrange a peaceful assembly on CSU land, I can give that to you. If you want to have your peaceful assembly on public areas,
But CSU is public property. Have you read the CSU policy on demonstrations? You see, being the owner of Colorado State University, I have read the policy. I want to make sure that my workers are doing the right job. I have read the policy. Have you?
do you want the information or not?
I'm asking you if you want the information. I'm here giving you the information. Are you willing to take it?
I heard your question.
Yeah.
Now I'm asking you, do you want the information or not?
I'm not sure that there's different information. Are we talking about the same thing here?
You're talking about arranging an event on CSU land?
No, I'm not talking about arranging anything. I'm talking about you arranging not to put holes in my body. Yeah, I have no intention of arranging a demonstration on CSU land. The demonstration is going to happen, and there's not a fucking thing you can do about that. So the question is, have we agreed that we're all leaving our weapons at home today so that it can remain peaceful? Or is it your intention to commit heinous acts of violence against peaceful people? Which you have a history of doing. That's what we're hoping. This is like a truce, right? We're asking for a truce. Stop putting holes in people's bodies and threatening to put holes in people's bodies, and we can have our little peaceful demonstration. Right, remember sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never harm me? Yeah, that's kind of what we're asking for here. We don't want you to bring sticks and stones, because, you know, it's not appropriate to bring those kinds of things to a word fight. What's that sound? Are you fiddling with your recording device? Don't worry, this will be on YouTube before too long anyway. You don't have to worry about taking a recording. Hello?
I am still here.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're almost there, so get ready for a surprise! Surprise! So, yeah, who knows how this is working now? I think I'm back.
I think you are. Eric, that call
Okay.
was amazing.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. I mean, that corporal had no idea what you were talking about, has no understanding of the public forum or the fact that CSU is a public.
Let's do it this way.
campus.
What the fuck?
The
this
supposed
StreamYard
to be
is pissing me off.
constitutionally protected. Doing all right?
There we go. I'm just going to do it from the mobile.
Sounds dope. I'm in. I still got all this booze on my chest.
Lady Zaga wants to know if the cardboard people are coming to the protest.
Well, I mean, I'd say yes, but I think a few of them have already been put out of their misery.
Well, there's still a little bit of life left in them. I see they're leaking.
A few of them. I got a few that aren't. Right, so we got a few who are just barely leaking. Idols. You know, and if you're worried whether or not the bird's going to be on target, those are all drawn fires with no sighting.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
So,
30
so
feet.
Listen, I know that you were doing your own little protest last night, and I hope we didn't fuck that up for you.
No,
but we were concerned for your safety.
No, actually, so here's two things. So, you guys absolutely helped me maintain my Fifth Amendment, right? Even though at the end game for me to get processed, I did have to submit to illegal medical testing, which I
Tell
thought
us a
was,
little bit about what happened there, because it sounds bizarre. I mean, this is the United States, right?
dude, this was like straight out of China, in my opinion. This was as fascist and as extreme as any terrorist organization. I'm surprised they didn't waterboard me, dude. Like literally, I thought I was gonna get waterboarded afterwards. I really did. So this is how
Surely
it
you're
takes place, brother.
exaggerating. I mean, you just
I'm
go
telling
there,
you,
you sit down, you sit down there, and you just sit there and wait, right? I mean, they don't do anything to you, right?
yeah, let me get into that. Give me 1 second, though. I'm gonna have to click out and come back because someone messed up my stream by calling in. So 1 second.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that call while we're waiting for him to come back in. Isn't it great how technology has brought us all together like this, and yet we're always fighting our technology? Greatest liberty that humankind has ever known in our entire lives, and our liberty only goes so far as our charging cables. How great is that? So if you're just joining the stream, we are talking with Liberty Bird up there near Fort Collins. He was arrested yesterday for, that's right, exercising his rights. He was arrested for trespassing when he in fact had permission to be there. The officers wouldn't look at the evidence because, and I quote, "I'm not going to look at that because we're conducting an investigation." That's exactly what he said. He actually said that. So I'm not sure. Let's see. Is he coming back in? I'm not sure how this goes here. Which network am I on?
I'm back. Perfect.
Oh, hey, you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that. Someone blew up my phone and wrecks my live
I'll
streaming.
have to deal with connection issues later. Yeah.
So this is how it all took place, Eric. I'm sitting in the holding, waiting to get into intake.
Holding, waiting to get into intake.
Yeah, so this is the processing part, right? So you leave the garage, you go in, you sit down while they type in a bunch of information, and then they
This
want
is
to
at the local police department or at the jail?
Yeah, this is at the Larimer County Jail.
Okay.
Sheriff's controlled Larimer County Jail, right? So in the process, they finally get ready to process me. And then they tell me that I need to subject to medical testing. And started trying to ask me all kinds of COVID questions. And I was just like, you are not my medical physician. I only answer medical questions to my doctor that I have confidentiality with. And I am now pleading the Fifth Amendment. So suddenly, anywhere between 5 to 7 people with a GoPro and a bunch of suits comes over, grabs me, makes me stand up, spreads my legs apart, and shoves a gunny sack over the top of my face.
Egads.
I'm dead serious.
You're kidding
man.
me.
No,
Wait,
dude,
did you
I'm
say
dead
a GoPro?
serious. Dude, while they're GoProing this whole thing, and the whole time I'm asking,
well, that's a
please
record.
identify per your policy, officer. Please identify per your policy. If all of you are doing this, please identify. And they stood there silent. And then they drugged me and they were forcefully moving me around and then slammed me into an area where they had my head up against the wall and they were pushing my feet one direction, pulling my arms another direction, and then expecting me to obey commands with sciatic L4, L5 discectomy decompression and a bum leg on the right side. So after I complied, no violence, man, no violence. They didn't violate my rights to start off with, right? They were at that point, in my opinion, but they weren't the cause of my rights being, brutalized, and my processing wasn't really part of my protest. So I was peaceful, I was quiet, I was cooperative, and then I maintained my Fifth Amendment. And they threw me in a holding cell immediately as they do that. They tell me I need to take off my shorts. And they pull off my shoes, they pull off my socks, and then they tell me that I can either pull off my shorts while I'm still handcuffed, or they will do it for me. And I told them, well,
pull off your shorts.
Yep. And I told them that I'm not comfortable with that, and if they were going to violate me, that they were going to have to do it on their own accord. So they put me on my stomach flat on a piss-stained floor with a bunch of pubes, pull off my shorts, my boxers half around my my ass and my legs, and my cock now laying on a fucking dirty floor. And then they left me there with their knees in my backs and my leg, my bum leg that I told them about and everything else. And then
Why did they strip your clothes off?
and then they rip the gunny sack off my face and leave me in a cell silently for the next 4 fucking hours.
With no clothes on?
No, they gave me a pair of pants to put on and told me that I could change myself afterwards. But, it still didn't take away the fact that they stripped me fucking down to my fucking cock and balls being on a fucking dirty floor that definitely isn't going to meet any type of health standardization. Processing will not meet health codes, bro.
I'm still trying to understand why they stripped you naked. I mean, I've been in jail a lot, and there's some crazy motherfuckers. I've never seen them strip anybody down naked.
They didn't want me standing on my Fifth Amendment right. They were pissed off at me because they were getting a flood of calls. The work that went into the Operation Free Bird last night has touched my heart, dude. So deep, bro.
I had
so
nothing
deep.
to do with that.
Hey, whoever, whatever, all I got to say is, Eric, I love you. James Jefferson, man, I love you. Everybody that picked up that phone and made them know that I still had a Fifth Amendment right and what they were doing was wrong. They had no other option to let me keep my Fifth Amendment right. I did have to give up my medical rights, though.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, well, I have a problem with that, right? Because, listen, I've seen people go into the jails and refuse to process. I mean, I've known people that have refused to process. And that's what I was telling everybody. I said, this could take a few days, you guys. But, right, because they just let you sit there and wait.
They were going to hold me for 3
They will come get you. They will force you to give up your fingerprints.
Yes.
Right? But I've never seen them strip anybody naked. I've seen people strip themselves naked, but I've never seen them strip anybody naked.
Yeah, boxes around my thighs, all the way almost to my kneecaps, dude. Flap right on top of the concrete where somebody else had ripped out their own personal pieces and laid them on the floor. Unhumane.
That's ridiculous.
Well, no, what's really ridiculous, Eric, is the fact that they asked me if I had any disabilities or if I needed any type of disability assistance. And I told them, yes, I need a disability coordinator to read me all of my documents. I received no such treatment.
So you got no ADA coordinator, you got no disability assistance. The only thing they assisted you with was taking your clothes off, which you didn't need to do in the first place.
And stripping me of basic freedoms in order for me to be able to be processed like any regular human being. Okay, you don't waterboard people, right? Just like you don't throw a gunny sack over their face, drag them into a cell, strip them down to their freaking, nothing, and then leave them laying there to dress themselves after they just got molested. No means no. Rape is rape.
No means no, and rape is rape. That's right. That's exactly right. Well, I think it's interesting because what we were getting, why the spit mask is what Sunflower wants to know. Why the spit mask?
I don't know. I showed no violence toward any of the staff in the actual intake facility or the sheriff's department. The only person that I had an attitude against was the officer that ultimately refused to look at evidence that I was willing to provide to him for an investigation that he needed information from, asked me for that information, we offered it to him, and then he refused to look at it. And keep in mind, you guys have been way supportive of me, but I want you to keep in mind, like, the biggest problems that I have with all this is today I'm missing my niece's birthday, okay? 303 cop block, dude, my bestest dude, gets arrested, okay? And all just for what? To be my camera guy and run around with me and help me out with a project that I thought we were supposed to be legitimately doing through the permissions that we obtained. There's no peace, there's no justice, man. That ain't liberty. That's not freedom.
You broke up there. I'm sorry, but that connection dropped there. I don't know if it dropped for everybody, if it was just on my end. But yeah, really, the whole situation was stunning. And then from our perspective, I just get to the point where I'm ending my stream. It's obvious that if you're doing your little protest, you're going to be there for at least a day, right? Now we've learned you're going to see a judge at 1:30 the next day, but it's not open to the public. So that was its own set of problems. So I'm like, we've got a lot to do tomorrow. I need to get some shut-eye. Obviously, we're going to be going to Colorado Springs. So I ended the stream, and I think it was maybe 10 minutes after I ended my stream, I get a call from 303, and he says, hey, I just got a call from Liberty Bird, and
it's not from an inmate phone. They actually took him to like a sergeant's phone and made him call me, and they want to know what to do to make the call stop. So I didn't want to do anything to make the call stop, so I just neglected to tell anybody that this had happened. And so he told us that you're off suicide watch, but and that they're going to process you and you'll be released soon. And then I think it was maybe a half an hour later, I got a call from Mrs. 303 telling me David's getting dressed. He's heading down to the jail to get the Liberty Bird. So I'm like, yay, I can get, this is your show now. I'm going back to bed, or I'm going to go to bed, and we'll see what we have to do tomorrow. So that's sort of what we did.
Dude, David's been the biggest trooper ever, man. Like, that guy has got my back 100%. And if you don't believe me, man, like, who else can you hand $3,000 to and say, hey, buddy, just make sure to catch my bill later tonight? And then he shows up with.
Yeah, we've got
and
those
I believe that.
We can trust to do that. Yeah.
Well, I know how the Denver community works. You know what I mean? And you guys give money back, right? For bail and stuff. You know, the thing about it is that this right here is what makes this community so special, man. Is that the trust, the loyalty, dude, the dedication of what we're doing. And without you guys, man, I would have been sitting in there for 3 fucking days. Just know that.
My phone is overheating. Mm-hmm. It's mad at me here. Like it's too hot for me to even touch. Speaking of too hot to touch, you're going to have to try and sell those body camera footage, GoPro footage to X Hamster. I pay for that. You could become a star.
Don't know if the Birdman would dig that one, but I definitely got molested.
Yeah, fucking A, man. Jesus. So guys, I'm doing a fundraiser to try and buy body camera footage from the jail in Larimer County.
Please do. Please do. Anything you guys want to do to assist in this, man, get involved. Come out and film with us at CSU. Because even though we've been trespassed, there's a whole lot of us that haven't, and there are birds everywhere.
That's right. And we just need to make sure that we call ahead and get permission for our peaceful assembly.
Nope, that's not how it works. In fact, I have already on video phone recorded conversations with the captain that it is a public campus and we can do anything we want to in a public forum, and that is their policy.
So here's a question that I have. Why don't you look up for us and publish, do a little story on this? There's a public bus that goes there.
Yes. In fact, I will be happy to share with you guys all that information. But yes, Route 33 from Fort Transport, right? Fort Collins Transport, something like that. Route 33, four bus stops on that privatized public road that's been privatized by not CSU, but the CDC itself, according to my original incident. But of course,
but public transit can't service a private road.
Well, that's what they say. So yeah, I talked to public transit and they say that they do not publicly serve any private roads. No bus routes or bus stops will be located on a private road. However, at Rampart, we have just that. And guess what? Your federal tax dollars, okay, just led to that illegal privatization because they're claiming that federal owns everything when in fact, we know CSU does.
Well, and that means that we do.
And that means that we do. And
we
also,
do.
Yeah, Public Roads and Bridges says it is not a public road. Public Transportation says they do not service private roads, right? So if Road and Bridges says it's public, they say that they don't service private. And all in all, the GIS location shows that there's a center line with public utilities on it. There's easement between road and property. And
there's easement between road and property.
And
so
you do
I
not
think that what we should do is we should all take the bus and demonstrate at the bus stop.
I think, you know, it's funny because that was one of my original ideas, but this is the fact is I felt, and so did 303, that we should take it to where we really should take it. And that was right back to the corner to protest that very thing. They cannot just take me off of a public road and find the closest address to trespass me from. And the CDC cannot be a federally privatized company that has any right to complain on a public CSU campus.
Right.
So
it's a total mess. So I want to thank you for joining my stream. I hope you enjoyed the call.
Dude, immensely.
And I just, I got to the point where I just said, you know what? I'm just going to end the call and say, get ready for a surprise. So here's your surprise, motherfucker. You're stupid, and the world knows. So we're not going to tell you when we're coming out there, but I will remind you that it would be our preferred method that we not become leaky during the process. Yes. And I think if we all can agree to leave our weapons at home, we're not going to have any problems.
Yes, and don't try to incite, as long as the law doesn't try to incite violence unjustly, unlawfully, no one should be hurt in a peaceful protest.
They should not be. They should not be. So so I suppose we'll be doing some research on the bus lines, and I think that we're going to have to arrange a bus protest. We haven't had one of those in about 50 years.
I have everything for the information, plot maps, and so forth ready to go, gentlemen, and you just tell me when you're ready to rock and roll.
Well, I can't wait to see a live stream from you, or a video at least, of you going through the documentation so that we all have it available when we need to come. And,
we'll do it later tonight. It'll be here tonight.
I'm not tell them. I don't want them to have the tanks out too early. It might make the neighbors nervous.
And so, you were asking earlier about whether or not Fort Collins has agreements with CSU around some of the gear. Well, guess what they do? Gun of Choice, 7.62, several of them purchased, night vision, reflux sights, and $500,000 or almost $500,000 armored, mine-proof type of tank for protests.
Why?
That's a great
question. Those are
question.
called riots. Riots are not necessarily protests. They can be, but a protest is not necessarily a riot, although it can be.
I'm with you, but I'm kind of curious why else they would have it, right? Like if they don't want to turn a protest into a riot, why would they use such military forceful gear, right? They're inciting violence all across. They're
inciting the violence. That's right. That's right. So thank you for your activism. I'll remind everybody, if he had stayed there all weekend, we would have been calling all weekend. There's no question. Each of us has our own way of doing activism. No, you guys, you don't always do it the way I'd like to see you do it. And I'm sure that you guys don't always think that I do it the way you'd like to see it done. But one thing we can all agree on is that we're here to support each other, because each of our individual voices is so important. And at the end of the day, it's this tyrannical government that we're trying to protect ourselves from. So we were there to support you. If you were going to be there for the long haul, we were going to be there for the long haul. So keep that in mind. And Colorado Springs, or God, I keep saying Colorado Springs.
Fort Collins, no worries. Fort Collins, Colorado, CSU. Fort
Collins, CSU police, get ready for a motherfucking surprise.
Eric, I love you. Thank you so much for having me, man. And anything you need, you got my number. Give me a call. Let me know.
Thanks, buddy. Remember, support your local police. Beat yourself up.
Awesome, brother.
All right. Bye.